11 a.m. on a Saturday morning, first weekend in September. And this is Katie's Coffee Klatch in Great Falls. Very impressive set of cars. So I brought up the 2016 Stingray, and let's just take a walk through here and see what's showing up, or what has shown up today. Mustang.
That I would have.
BMW.
Charger? That's a little more special.
There's a
You don't see those.
Lamborghini blackout on it. And we'll take a closer look at this thing.
For like 6 months. I know the front damages.
This is a good commuter car with a McLaren sitting next to it. And then, of course, you'd have to have a Rolls Royce sitting next to a McLaren. This right here goes up and down, so they can't steal it.
The back of Kate's
And the
Coffee
Rolls
Shop
Royce
is
here.
hallway.
That's where the handle is.
Coffee shop for the travel.
Pretty nice interior. And then a BMW. And then, of course, you have to have your Pierce Arrow. I was going to bring mine,
Actually, he was a product of the
but I didn't want to pull it out of the garage this morning. That is pretty cool.
Which was really nice, with the exception of the 20 minutes down. Too nice
Steering wheel there.
It was
And
like,
in the back,
so just pass us up. We
you got
got
the
there
rumble
early
seat,
enough, so
you
we
can
were
see.
actually under the cover.
You step here,
When did they release
step
us?
there, and that's how you get into the rear
Spring
rumble
started at
seat.
6:30.
This is cool. This is a 429. We lost 429.
Got a good spot for my girlfriend and I.
Probably worth a pretty
There,
penny.
and my little barber jacket.
Homemade job here. Classic first gen Camaro.
Yeah, it'd be in the garage.
An old Jag. E-Type. This is really a classic. And of course we have another Lamborghini sitting next to it. And it's funny up here at Katie's, people don't even look twice at a $500,000 Lamborghini. Here we have a classic GTO. Triple carbs on it. Oh, look at this thing down there. This is interesting. A bottle of windshield washer salt came standard with it. A newer Jag. A Z06 427 package, 911. ZR1 Corvette. And they've been collecting money on this Mustang for about 10 years, it seems like. Now, you guys must have collected a damn $1 million on this thing.
We wish.
And then this is a race car, obviously. Probably was trailered up here. And Tesla Model X, owned by Pauline, that I was in before. Talked about. It's pretty cool. And this is her 54. Here's a Carrera S Cabriolet. L82 Corvette. Here's a split window 63 heading out. And then you see it just keeps going on and on and on. So you just see a variety of cars here. Here is a Z06 C7. This is $100,000+ Corvette. 0 to 60, 2.95 seconds. Classic Mustang here. Here's an old Thunderbird. And we'll walk up the other side. It's a beautiful Stingray. I like the color combination on that. Doing the same black wheels and red calipers I went with. Here's an old Falcon. It's classic interior.
Wasn't doing that many gravel. Because like it's all there is a coffee shop. What is you just wait flat
Here
out.
is
Why
a
would you want to think?
Fisker that I was in when I was with the president of Actuate. When I was out in California when I was consulting for AMT. It's an interesting car. They went belly up. If you check out the top of it, it's got the solar panel. All right, so let's walk up the other side here. The new Alfa Romeo. This is another classic. Triumph TR6. Check out the dashboard here. As simple as it gets. And then this is where all the motorcycles park here at Katie's. Check out this old BSA. I sat at breakfast with the guy that owns this morning. Ducati.
You could. Oh my god, Whale Tail.
And you can see there's more up here, more Lambos. Like I say, Lamborghinis are a dime a dozen up here at Katie's.
What did you say your name was?
Alright, we'll head up the other side. Alright, here's the Roadster. Ford. Alright, so
I mean, it's a fight to drag her.
gotta check out the DeLorean. I had a friend who had a DeLorean. We used to go cruising in it. It was a lot of fun. It wasn't fast, but it was a lot of fun. More attention getting than anything else. You can see it's doors are obviously what you remember. The engine is nothing to write home about. DMC's DeLorean Motor Company. Here is a Shelby Cobra clone. You see a real one up here because, or you very rarely, because they're $1 million cars. Here's a Jag, all pimped out. Let's see what other interesting vehicles are up here. And here's a GTR. Nissan, codename Godzilla. And it has who hand-built the motors.
I think he had more than one.
Bel Air here. The window sticker. And I remember going to my grandparents had these class cars. Very comfortable to sit in. Great big steering wheels, as you see right here. Seems today it takes up most of the vehicle. And then the silver thing in the middle, it's actually the horn for Silver Ring.
So we never gets any credit. And the big army base down in Georgia, Fort Stewart.
Yep, heard of it.
This is nice. This is the Audi R8 with the V10, and this thing will certainly get out its own way. And it's sitting next to a 1964 Porsche. It's in great shape.
I'd open the door if you want.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. And we get a video here of the inside, a little bit better view.
Cooler, 2 steering wheel on it.
Oh, okay. This is in phenomenal shape. Beautiful car. Thank you.
All right, off the back, opens you.
Okay, let's check out the engine here.
It's a one owner,
Wow.
one owner car I bought 20 years ago
Is that right?
in Tucson. So no rust, sheet metal number. So when Hans and Franz put them together, they had stamped the body plates. So when they were assembling them over the course of a couple weeks, couple months, they'd match them up. So they just literally just rudimentary numbers. They'd pull them off and they'd put the VIN number, which is 6 digits, on
Okay.
the body panels. And there's, don't quote me on trivia, 7 places where the body panels are stamped. There's only one in the hood you can under the bonnet you can see. But as I took it apart, I checked all the body panel numbers. And,
So you did a lot of the work on this?
my brother and I was here somewhere talking
Oh,
to the
really?
air cool guy up there. We stripped it by hand. So they put
Wow.
them together and they put the lead in. I mean, there's 2 body coach makers that Porsche used back then. But they'd assemble them at the factory, the body parts, and they'd put lead in there. And so we didn't want to media blast it or, and get the lead out.
You're right,
Because there was
right.
no need to take it out. So we wanted to strip it by hand. So we actually, when I bought the car, it was in great shape. It was drivable. I bought it from the widow. Well, I bought it from the family of the owner. I mean, it was in there. So I've got paperwork all the way back to Germany.
Is that right?
What we can figure out is the dealer in Tucson went to Germany, drove this car for a couple weeks in Germany, had the oil change at the factory. I have that paperwork, and then imported
Wow.
it. I'm just putting the story together because I don't even think she knew, because I'm like, it has the dealer's name. I had that, and I had the delivery date, and then I had the oil change date, and they're a couple 3 weeks apart, and then there was mileage on the car. So I'm like, the dude went over there and drove it, I mean, I'm telling that story, but I also tell you I don't know that for a fact, but I have paperwork that kind of leads me to believe that that's something like that happened. But it was the dealer's, Jost was his last name, in Tucson. And then this family owned it until I bought it 20 years ago in '96. I had cancer in '96, and I actually went out and bought 2 of them.
Is that right?
Then I decided I was going to live, and it had to be fiscally responsible, and I sold one. Well done.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm gonna live. I better start paying those bills.
I need more money, right? Yeah.
I tell you, it's somewhat. Actually, I enjoyed having 2 of them. This one wasn't. The other one was prettier. I bought it. That's an interesting story. I bought it from this guy. Found I was looking for one. Small club in Tucson, in Arizona. Actually, Arizona Outlaws. It's 356 Club. And then, hey, this guy's looking for one. He's a nice guy. Blah blah. And this guy calls me up. Said, hey, I got a 356. Oh man, I just bought one, but I like him. So let me come look at yours. I'm also a motorcycle guy. I roll in, park this car, not in this condition, and I see the 356 kind of sitting there in his garage, and it's in the shade. And I walk in, and it's a big garage, not super big, like 2-3 car garage. He has motorcycles, Indian Harleys, and they're all beautiful.
Is that right?
And I'm like, he goes, yeah, I got a motorcycle for every child and grandchild, and he had a lot of motorcycles, so maybe he was Catholic or Mormon or whatever. I'm Catholic, so don't take that wrong. And he's like, I only have one old Porsche, I got to get rid of it before something happens, and then they fight over it. I ended up buying that car. He did a really nice job. It was a driver, but it was a really nice driver. I actually showed that car a little bit. But it was a light yellow, and this one, before we put it back to the way it kind of looks now, it had white Earl Scheib paint over it, because it's in Tucson. After a while, I always tell everybody, all these cars are 10, 12, 15-year-old cars at some point in their life. And what do we do with 10 or 15-year-old cars? You give them to your nephew, you drive them around, you take them to the grocery
That's a good point.
store. And so it went through that period, and it had that white paint on it. So I had a white one and a light yellow one, and I would switch driving them. And people at work are like, people at work would like, is that the same car? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing, sir?
Thank you. Very interesting.
Thanks for sharing.
Depends how good you are.
Here's a Ferrari. Ferrari doesn't get people's attention up here either. You really have to have something unique. There's no Pontiac Catalina. You gotta love the interior of this. This looks like something that my Uncle Donnie Thompson would have. Alright, here's the classic Goat, or GTO, by Pontiac. These things just go for stupid amounts of money at Mecum auction. Of course, the big thing with the Goat was we had the cap on the hood right there. An old Sunbeam Tiger. What's cool about this is these things had a V8. Right? So, little sports car, but nice room in terms of the interior, and it goes like hell with that V8. Now here are some Ford GT clones. Seems like these guys are up here every Saturday. So let's check out this.
Oh, thank you.
As you see here, you see how the door opens. And then the engine back. Dan Gurney made this famous.
This is beautiful.
Actually, Edsel Ford made it famous when he beat Enzo Ferrari in the early 60s.
This is a continuation.
See, I got two clones right next to each other here. We called it the GT40 because it's 40 inches tall. Got a little sports car here. So this is the Polaris Slingshot. This has been getting a lot of press lately. You actually need to wear a motorcycle helmet with this, as you see here. Two-seater. Pretty modern, cool looking. Goes like hell.
Man.
Alright. This is a nice Ferrari. This is the F30, F430. And of course, classic Ferrari red. You got the tan interior, black dash. This is actual manual, which a lot of times you see the paddle shifters. And check out the steering wheel on the different modes. And of course, this is what people really like to look at. Ferraris, it's mid-engine, meaning the weight of the engine is in the mid part of the car, and then you got the classic glass covered. Let's see what else is up here. And here comes Aston Martin, high end. I know this guy. Oh, DVS, not DV8. And here you have classic Hellcat Dodge Charger. Blacked out, can't see really anything inside here, but what's impressive about this, so it's 4 doors and it is 707 horsepower. So this also goes like hell. And then you got sitting next to my 2016 Stingray, you have a Maserati. So this is a typical day up at Katie's Coffee Clash.
Yeah.
On a Saturday morning. And it's supposed to start at 7.
Right.
If you're not here at 6, you're not going to get a word